The world's probably... the world is flat. We do know this.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Everybody knows the world's flat.
Everybody knows the world is flat. Have you seen a
map? And if you don't believe it, you're stupid.
Hello there, and welcome to Go Up the Podcast. I am your host, Raven.
And it's Jesse.
He's there.
I'm here.
He's over there.
Weekly for Co-op the Podcast. I'm here.
We got him again, you guys.
Yep.
His schedule's so busy, and we got him.
Yep. You're able to book me again for another week.
Yeah. Your manager is super rude, though. We got to talk to him about his people skills.
Yeah. He did steal the new chair.
He did. That ass.
Yeah.
My chair.
But yes, we're here. We're back again for another week of Co-op the Podcast, where we talk about all our fun hobbies that we do together. Cooperatively.
Yeah, that's what the name means, you guys.
That's why we picked it. It was a good name.
Yeah, exactly. And it was only slightly taken by every other gaming podcast out there. So.
Nah. We got it. We got it all to ourselves. But this week, what's new? What's new this week since last week? You were on a stream.
I was on a stream for at Scraticus Academy. It's at Scraticus_. And it was so much fun. We played D&D 5e. I played a half-orc ranger beastmaster named Araki. And she had a dog named Kuma that was very much like Airbud, Beethoven, Lassie. Like, she was super famous, and she was always interested in saving people. Well, Araki was just her lackey.
Yeah, and are you going to be back on to continue the story? Right?
I'm not going to be back on that particular podcast, but maybe on some of the other, or that particular stream for that particular story. But I might be on a different one for another story with a different character entirely in the future.
Yeah, interesting. And so, actually, do we know, did they post the replay?
They haven't posted it yet, but you should see it next week. Yeah, because it's on video on demand on YouTube. And we'll post that as soon as possible, as soon as that comes out. But the series is called Fading Footsteps, and I do recommend everybody checking that out. It has at Sage Ophelia, Holly as the DM, and she was so great to play under. Scraticus plays a really fun tiefling wizard who is really fun to play with. And then Abigator Frenzy, Abby, she plays a changeling named Puck. And that character was really cool too. And then the other person, so they have two new guests every week. And with me this past week was Liz, who her Twitter handle is at EMGOsia, EMGIOSIA. And she was so much fun to play with as well. I've been following her on Twitter for a really long time, and it was nice to finally get to play with her. So I definitely recommend following all those people and following what they do, and then going and watching the episode.
Yeah, you can get a sneak peek at the half of our studio that is stream ready.
Yeah, stream ready. We didn't just set it up right before I went on air.
Yeah, and we didn't have the camera running just to see what pieces would be
specifically on the stream.
But yeah, the good news is we got half of our studio ready for streaming. We just have to do the other half, because I'm looking at wires and sofa cushions.
So many sofa cushions in here.
Yeah.
Hopefully it sounds really soft in here now. There's not any more echoes.
Yes, we actually did do some soundproofing in the studio. Hit
especially
the corner spots.
After last week's audio.
Which that was a technical malfunction. ID10T error.
What did you just say?
It's an ID10T error. User error.
That's rude.
Spell it.
You said idiot.
Yeah.
It's rude.
But yeah, that was a user error last time. Yeah.
I will say it's all my fault.
But it did highlight the tones of the room, and we've seen that in past audio, and so we were looking for how to make it a little better, and slowly but surely we're getting it up. We got foam.
I will say
stuff all over.
that when we were setting up for this podcast too, I was looking over like the audio, trying to figure out how I had it before, because I must have just updated my computer and it must have updated some weird stuff and all my settings, and our recording equipment got kind of wonky. And I don't do this for specifically a living, so it took me a moment to figure out like, okay, what the fuck did I do before? So hopefully it sounds better now.
Yeah,
and it's not as echoey, because Jesse set up like all these squishy foamy bits all over the room. We have like a nice like curtain to where you won't hear, hopefully, our cat meow on the other side of the door. That motherfucker.
Yep. We'll see what happens, but
he's probably just up in the chair.
We're taking steps slowly but surely, guys. We're getting even more professional. So but yeah, so we plugged all those other people on Scraticus, though, but we should plug ourselves, because also at Co-op the Podcast was there on Twitter.
Yes, they were. And they are. And we are.
And we are, yeah.
Yeah, at Co-op the Podcast on Twitter, Instagram. You can also find us on Facebook. That's where we're running our t-shirt contest.
Yes, which we had another winner.
We did have another winner.
And another t-shirt went out.
Yes, another t-shirt went out. It should be there really soon. But the winner was Tim Campadonico at CasualT52 on Twitter. Congratulations, Tim. He's on Twitter. He interacts with us all the time on Twitter, too. And that's how you win the big merch. You guys, you got to interact with us.
Yep, interactions is where it's at. So I think for this latest one, which we will be announcing around the time this podcast comes out, for the next winner, there are a lot of people who interacted on Facebook. So it's getting there. We're getting a lot more competition. So, but now is your time. Interact now, and you might win more easily because there are less names to choose from.
Exactly.
So
I mean, out of
get
the
on
trillions.
It now.
Yeah. What's after trillions?
Quadrillion.
Yeah, you don't want to wait until our viewership gets to the quadrillions?
Quadrillion.
Quadrillions, okay.
Yeah, like quad.
Like a quad.
Trillion.
Yeah, and okay, all right, I'm here.
Like trillion is trillion.
Yeah. Trillion.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so then what else? So also callit.thepodcast.com. We have not done any new blog posts yet, but we made a great Italian rainbow cake, so we might post something.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, it was really good and super tasty, but I didn't do the food coloring right.
Yeah, so the pictures might be lackluster.
Yeah.
But hey, we don't need to put pictures. We'll be like, hey, camera malfunction, no pictures, but here's this great recipe you could do anyways.
Yeah, you don't really even have to. If you just want to make a really good, like, it's like almond and raspberry cake with a chocolate ganache. You could do that. So maybe I will, and I'll just name it something else, because I don't know how food coloring works. It's stupid.
It's so
and
confusing.
I don't like it.
They're like, put a few drops in, and it's like, okay, this color kind of looks right. And then like we're already like several drops above where like everybody else on the internet was saying you need to get to to a certain color. Okay.
Yep.
Great. Mm-hmm. But then it comes out all faded like.
Yeah. Like the yellow and the green just turned out the exact same.
What's the difference between yellow and green? Some blue, but apparently not enough.
They didn't use enough blue.
Maybe that's what we should have done, actually. Instead of using the green food coloring.
We should have maybe used, I don't know. I'm not an artist. I don't have a great...
But that's a thought.
Color theory.
That's a thought, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so nothing new on there right now. But again, guys, we're trying to work on it. We're just super busy all the time. So
all the time.
Once we can get something out there, great. We also are talking to a couple people to maybe do some blog posts of their own, and share that kind of space with some people who could put more time to it. But we'll see what happens with that as well.
Right.
Yeah. Other than that, go to patreon.com/callittthepodcast and give us money.
Yep. Because then if you did that, then I could just do it. We don't have to bring in people that, we don't have to bring in anybody else.
Yeah. And that covers our plugs and announcements.
It does.
So Honda hotcakes.
Yes.
All right. What's hot?
Hot is, so not this weekend, but last weekend, we went and did a double viewing of two movies, which we had been really excited to see. And I think that on kind of people's radars, like people aren't running out to go see them like they did for Avengers. But they're probably like, yeah, I'm going to go see it within the next week or two. And one of those is Detective Pikachu, Pokemon Detective Pikachu. We went and saw that.
Yeah, and then the other one was John Wick 3.
Parabellum.
Yeah, and I will say for anybody who is thinking about doing a double feature movie, 1, don't go to these theaters where they give you food, because then you'll eat too much.
Yeah, Jesse thought he was dying.
Yeah. 2, leave enough space, like go early in the morning, and then 1 early in the afternoon, and leave some space so you can grab some quick lunch and have plenty of time to get back and forth.
Yeah.
And you'll have a great day.
Yes.
You know, a little bit of popcorn in the morning, maybe, or, you know, nothing, right? It's the morning. You can get away without eating something during the movie. A mimosa? Yeah. Well, don't go to those theaters, because you'll have too much stuff.
Yeah, or you don't get your drink.
Oh, yeah, that's a different thing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, then, you know, lunch somewhere. You can have, like, a great lunch probably nearby.
Yep.
Any theater. And then go to the next theater and have some popcorn. But if you go to one of these theaters where you can just order food at the touch of a button, you'll eat a ton of stuff. You'll still have enough time for lunch in between.
And you'll
probably eat lunch because everybody will want to.
You have to.
Yeah. And then blah, 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 blah. And you'll feel pretty shitty by the end of the day. So,
that's true.
But yeah, that's just a pro tip.
Yeah. From experience.
For double features. Yeah. But the movies themselves were pretty good.
Yeah. Let's talk about Pokemon Detective Pikachu first. So if it has Ryan Reynolds in it, Justice Smith, and
bunch of other people, we have no idea who
I
they
can't
are.
name them right off the top of my head.
I only knew Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, it's really weird. He's obviously the big name actor in this particular film. But you get to see a lot of yours and mine favorite Pokemon of all time.
Yeah, and you know, I still haven't found a definitive list of all the Pokemon that were in there. But numbers range from, like, you know, 20-something, 50-something different Pokemon that were in there.
Yeah, I would imagine that if you're, like, the animator, it's like, well, I'm just gonna...
They were throwing some in the background.
Yeah,
and, like,
but the same ones, like...
A lot of them, yeah.
If you don't see them probably in the forefront a little bit, they probably are like, well, I'm not going to dedicate all this time to creating.
Well, they did... I think they tried to hide a couple, like, in there for fun, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's that one on the wire or whatever that you're not supposed to really see. The, like, lightning...
Oh, right. I can't remember what that one was.
But yeah, there's a couple, I think, where they're like, okay, yeah, like, you know, let's just hide it in the background. It'll be like a nice little Easter egg, and you don't have to put a whole lot of detail on it because it's either dark or really far in the background sort of thing, you know.
Yeah, because most of it was in, like, the main city, and...
There's tons walking around, right? So they could easily have slipped, you know, a random little Pokemon in the city, and we would have never known, right? Unless you're watching it stop motion. Maybe you'll pick it up.
Yeah, you're going through, like, every second.
But I think that's why we haven't seen a definitive list yet, because nobody's gotten their hands on it to do that kind of stuff with it yet. But there were tons. I mean, there was, you know, Blastoise, Charizard.
Yeah, Haunter, but we thought it was Gengar. Like, it did not look like Haunter.
No, I think it was a Gengar.
Oh, but I thought... So
no, the list online
the list said Haunter.
Said Haunter, and I think because that was based off the trailer. And in the trailer, it looked like Haunter.
Switched it.
Because it was just moving around. But I think it was a Gengar, yeah. Pikachu, of course, was in it, and Mewtwo was in it.
Yeah, Psyduck.
Yeah, Psyduck, he was good. Greninja.
Greninja was
Ditto.
in it. Ditto. Apom.
Yeah. Apom. I mean, like, you know.
Jigglypuff.
Yeah, Machoke or Machamp was in.
Yeah.
Maybe both were in it.
Mewtwo.
I said Mewtwo already.
Oh, sorry. Cubone.
Yeah. The Pidgeotto, Pidgeot. I think all three were in it in various forms. So, which I think, like we said on this, I think Pidgeot's probably my favorite as far as Pokemon go. Just because I always had a Pidgeot.
Yeah. There was an Eevee that transformed into a Flareon.
It was that? Okay, yeah, it was because Ditto was already occupied elsewhere.
Yeah.
I was saying that wasn't just Ditto transforming, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was actually an Eevee, yeah.
Yeah. I did like the Bulbasaur. I think that was something this movie really did well was because I've never really been a huge fan of Bulbasaur, but this movie gave me a new appreciation for Pokemon that I don't I'm not usually drawn to. I'm obviously a Squirtle Squad repper. So
yeah, which is Squirtle Squad was in it.
Squirtle was in it. Yep.
No, the whole squad was in it.
Oh, it was the whole squad.
There's like a little advertisement about them fighting fires with their Squirtle companions, and they were all wearing sunglasses.
I didn't see them wearing the sunglasses.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Joltik is the one that you were referring to on the
Joltik.
thing.
Yeah.
Joltik.
Yeah, he's kind of a little hidden. So I think like if they hit him, right, they probably hit some others.
Well, I mean, it was on the screen, but it was kind of like it was just a little bit harder to see. Togepi, all those, which is pretty cool. I mean, just to be able to see all these Pokemon. There's newer generations of Pokemon, and then obviously the older ones because you get like your Charmander and Squirtle and
yeah. I think they went all the way up to the latest gen though. I can't remember. There's somebody was talking about that, and you know, there's a lot of like Pokemon signs because I'm looking at a list right now where they're doing that thing where they're like, oh, check out, you can see, you know, Goomy in this sign, and it's like that's
just a drawing. Yeah, it's just like neon lights. But that was really cool. I mean, it was a really fun aspect of the movie, trying to figure out how many Pokemon you're seeing.
Oh, Mr. Mime.
Mr. Mime was so funny. I like those. Those moments were good with Mr. Mime.
Yeah, Mr. Mime was pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. And so Jesse and I have kind of differing opinions on the story. Jesse, how did you like
I don't think it was super great. You know, other than seeing the Pokemon in live action, it was a bad movie.
I thought it was a cute movie. I think it seems like it's obviously kind of made more for children. The story was really easy to follow, a little too easy to follow.
Right, well, they kind of switched tracks, though. Like, it was not easy to follow because there's no consistency between the beginning half of the story and the second half of the story.
Yes, there was.
It was like they were jumping into two different stories.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I can see it in your eyes. You're like,
no,
maybe
I'm trying
right.
to think of, like, when it was doing that. Because I don't think so. I think that,
yeah, I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but, like, there was a distinct moment where you're like, okay, now this is what we're doing, right? It's no longer like a fun kind of kiddie, I'm searching for my dad detective movie.
Right.
You know, it's now like a serious thing that's completely different. And it's almost like they didn't even care about that other plot point anymore.
They did. He's still trying. Well, I mean, they told him, I mean, the plot point, the first plot, like, really has a definitive end. And then it's like, oh no, what we just told you was actually the exact opposite. And you should continue to look for your dad. Basically, they're like flip-flopping on like, can he find his dad? Can he not find his dad? And so that was a little frustrating. I will give you that. But I thought that the story was cute. It kind of, to me, it was kind of like the little talk bubbles in a Pokemon game. Like, all the conversation was like that. All the characters, aside from Justice Smith's character and Ryan, or Detective Pikachu, all of the characters were really just kind of like those, like, Team Rocket, random, like, bad guys, or, like, other people.
Yeah, like, these aren't the main characters of any Pokemon game, yeah. But, like, still.
But it seemed like that, and I really appreciated that, because I thought that was a cute way to do it, because it's like one of the characters gets introduced, and it just reads like a talk bubble from one of the games. And I thought that was cute, and a cute way to do it. And, like, all the bad guys, too, were in a similar way than that. I do think that, because you know Mewtwo is like
he's a big plot point.
Point in this movie. I thought that if they wanted to do another movie, maybe should have waited to bring out Mewtwo.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. It's two plots. The Mewtwo plot,
and the Mewtwo plot was in the beginning of it,
and they're kind of the same plot, but they're kind of not the same plot.
They're like the same plot.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, it's very, I think, probably ill-coordinated or ill...
I also think that, like, the Mewtwo plot in the original animated film was better than this particular Mewtwo plot.
Right. There's a lot of plot holes in this whole thing, too. And that's another part of it, is, like, the whole thing is just sort of like...
I think they just should have maybe come up with a different plot instead.
Yeah.
But I still thought it was cute, and I definitely recommend people going to go see it, especially if you have children. Go take your children, go take your brothers or sisters. I thought it was cute. I would probably watch it again.
Yeah, I would definitely watch it. I mean, I'll own it. Like, I'll buy it.
Yeah, but you hated it.
Yeah, but really, I'm gonna buy it just so I can go back and look at. Oh, hey, man, look at these. Like,
and maybe it's like a
Pokemon walking around live.
Yeah.
Put it on mute and watch the Pokemon walk around, and there you go. You'll have a great time.
The other thing too is like in video games, I feel like you're not always the most interested in kind of the story that's going on there. Well, I think like it's cute and I'll like pay more attention to it than you would. So
I guess, I mean, I pay attention to the story for sure if it's a good story.
Yeah.
I think I'm just interested in good stories.
You like just press A like as it goes through all of Soul Calibur.
Yeah, those stories aren't good stories.
They're not bad.
Yeah, but I already know them. They're the same stories that have been told in every Soul Calibur ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's good. I would definitely, I still recommend it. Go see it.
For sure.
If for nothing other than just to see, a live action version of probably one of your favorite Pokemon. I mean, hopefully everybody's favorite Pokemon is captured in here, but there are like 500 Pokemon now, so maybe not.
Yeah, I don't see how. I don't think they're gonna make another movie.
I don't think so too, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this does well. I just don't think. I don't know what they could make.
I don't know what they could.
I don't know what the story could be.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyways, let's move on to John Wick 3.
John Wick 3, yeah,
Parabellum. We also saw that one.
Which I think it's out by now. If not, brief spoiler alert.
They're coming out with
there's going to be a fourth movie, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought this was the last movie.
Yeah, we had no idea until it gets to the end, and it's quite
and
obvious.
I guess maybe they're not coming out with a fourth movie. Maybe they just wanted to leave it on a cliffhanger.
No, but they've already announced.
They already announced it? Okay, I was going to say, I don't know if they announced it or not, but I'm sure the internet's a buzz.
I think it's coming out in like 2021 or something, or 2022.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. A little disappointed in the John Wick franchise because of that.
This movie's really good.
It's a really good movie.
I thought, like, you go into it thinking this is the end, and it's going to be cool, and it's going to be badass, and everybody's going to get murdered. No.
Right.
There wasn't
like at the very
murder.
end of this movie, they're like, "Are you pissed off?" Right? And he's like, "Yeah." And it's like, I would have been, if I might have been pissed off like a movie ago, enough to kill everybody. Right? Like I think that's where they're getting to. It's like, "Are you pissed off enough to kill everybody?" It's like, yeah.
So here's the other thing. So you're talking about like plots changing like right in the middle. I think that John Wick's plot, it was literally like, okay, I'm in trouble with this organization, yada yada, and then I'm gonna go try to make. It was just, I mean, he flip flopped way too many times, and I thought like at the end it was like, obviously this is like a planned like ruse so that he can leave and just like get out.
Yeah, I would say you're kind of giving away basically the whole story, but yeah, that's basically it. Like,
yeah, like there's a lot of flip flopping going on how he feels about the organization,
and it's more of like is he just dealing with some sort of like, I can't beat them, I'm just gonna give in, but I could beat them, but I can't, like.
Right. Here's the other thing though too, is that Keanu Reeves maybe had like 3 lines in this entire movie.
Well, yeah, there wasn't a lot of speaking roles for anybody in the movie.
Yeah, Halle Berry I liked in it. She was good.
Yeah, I mean, all the characters are good. I think all the characters are good. There's a lot of world. There's a lot of world building. Who the fuck is Odin?
Odin's that's the only way that I can know. Like,
you
remember
keep saying that,
it's
but I'm
American Gods. He's Odin in American Gods.
What's American Gods?
Neil Gaiman.
There's a TV show or something?
Yes. Oh my God. Yes, you know this.
That. Yeah, no, I've never seen it.
Yes, you did. Yes, you have, and we've talked about it.
I have never seen that show.
Oh my gosh.
I've read Neil Gaiman, but I've never seen that show. So I did not know he played Odin. But either way,
Winston, I think is his name in the
Winston,
movie.
Yeah. There's some good world building in this movie, so it's definitely worth that. But if you're like waiting for like the resolution to this whole thing, where you just want to see him kill everybody, this isn't it. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get there soon. But yeah, just not quite yet.
The dog was cute though.
Yep, the dog was in it more than he was in the last movie.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get. Like you said, you get a lot more world building in this one. You learn a lot more about the organization, which also kind of seems like you're going from the first movie where there was a mention of it, obviously, but not a lot of it. And then the second movie where there is slightly more.
Well, okay, so in the first movie, there was no mention of the high table.
Right. And in the second movie, was there any mention of the high table? Okay, so it's kind of like the second movie.
Where
they
like the first movie, you had the idea of the Continental, right?
Yeah.
And the second, so you're like, okay, this is obviously the hub of this, like, spoke
and
thing.
Obviously there's, like, an entire organization.
There's more above it, yeah. And then, like, you get that in the second movie, so it kind of builds that up. And then in the third movie, we get the idea that there's somebody above the high table. Mm-hmm. We get the idea of how the high table operates, like a branch of the government kind of thing.
Yep, but murdering people.
Yeah, and then we go from there, and, like, that's kind of where we're at, right? Like, so we understand who the high table is and who is above the high table.
Yeah, who's in charge of, like, the high table.
And then we understand kind of how the Continental, from various different countries, wherever they may be, kind of plug into that organization. Mm-hmm. So, we
also got, like, their system of currency, which you did get in the first film. You get that in this film.
The coins, yeah, they finally, like, just everybody was kind of speculating exactly what they were.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just straight out said what it is in this movie, which is just as a symbolic,
right,
favor coin, basically, right? So
right.
So yeah, they explain some more world build. Yeah, definitely. Again, worth seeing, but it's not probably
I thought that this story was a little bit more frustrating than Detective Pikachu, but that's my own opinion.
Yeah. Like I'd say, like I think like the first John Wick movie was the best John Wick movie so far. I think the fourth one, whichever one where they finally end it, will also be a really good John Wick movie. Mm-hmm. And that's what I kind of hoped this movie would have been, but it just fell short because they didn't end it. Right,
exactly. The characters in it were all really great because they brought in new characters.
Yep.
And those were a lot of them were really funny. A lot of them were, really interesting just in general for John Wick's backstory. So those were really interesting.
Yeah. And, it'll go on and we'll see what happens more. So, yeah. But anyways, what else? Game of Thrones ended last weekend.
Yeah, we saw that too while Jesse was...
Yeah, same day.
Partially dying.
Yeah.
Because he ate too much.
It was rough. Yeah, ate too much, drank too much just sitting and watching a movie. It's rough.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we watched it.
We watched it. Definitely, I'm not really surprised by how it turned out. Mm-hmm. Like, we'll announce when we're going to do a full Game of Thrones recap, because we know there's people out there still that maybe are avoiding spoilers and stuff. I don't know. I don't want to make assumptions about anybody, but, it was okay. Like, it's,
yeah,
good
like
as I
a lot
could expect.
of people were very upset over how it ended. And I'm like, well, one, most of that wasn't really surprising. And then the rest of it was just kind of like, okay. I guess that's how it is. There's nothing you can do about it. And yeah, you could be angry and you can sign a petition all you want, but
petitions never get anything
They're not going to get, like your TV show isn't going to get remade for another 5 years probably.
It probably will get remade.
Yeah,
give it some time, it'll get remade, but probably not.
But not
for
right
a while,
now,
yeah.
And they're not probably going to use the same. They might use the same actors and actresses.
No, it'll be like 20, 30 years from now, and they'll have them come back in as an old person.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, some of it was really stupid. Like a lot of it's like the plots weren't lining up with kind of what they've been saying.
Well, yeah, they just were like, I'm going to put a wrap on this, on this.
Yeah.
Like they had a little checklist. And they were and that's what they've been doing all season, right? They've just been like, okay, we got to end this, and this, and this, and this. Okay, we're done.
Yeah. We forgot that all these characters had all this development in all these other ways, but this is a clean way to just like...
Yeah, it didn't leave anything like, of the existential crisis between good and evil. Didn't like say, oh, humanity is like a flawed beast that's always going to be struggling against these concepts. No, it was just like, okay, it's over, and
you got your ghost pet.
Yeah.
Which we all wanted.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, it ended, and like I said, we will announce and do
another full episode. Maybe once, because George R. R. Martin has finally said, God, tugging at his own penis, that he's now planning, I think the book is going to come out in 2021. Or 2020. I can't remember what. I posted it. Yeah, he said...
I'll hold my breath till then.
Yeah, he's like, I'm actually going to come out with it now. It's like, okay, Sure, George.
Well, he does have to come out with it before people lose interest, or else like he's missing out on some money. And he's all about the money. That's why he didn't come out with it for so long.
Right.
Because he was making too much money.
Because Game of Thrones, it's the TV show was making you money anyways. Why work hard?
Yeah, he was making tons of money off the TV show.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are like, he was testing out his ending.
No, the real story is he just wanted to get rich from the beginning. He was getting rich. And he was living it up as an old guy, getting his dick tugged, and
Yeah, I just don't think he knows where his own story is going at this point. Like, it's gotten so far away from him at this point that he's like, well,
were you the one talking about how like some writers, right? They let their characters lead them.
Yeah,
it's like. I think that's bullshit. I think some writers, right, they let their characters lead them, so that way they have a great excuse of like,
I don't really feel like doing this right now.
Jon Snow's not leading me anywhere. Oh, shit.
It's because he's dead in the books.
He's dead in the books. I guess it's just over, whatever. But hey, the TV show is popular right now. I can go to Comic-Cons and get a ton of groupies to come suck my dick.
Hey.
Let's do it.
Hey, that's bad. Don't do that. So, yeah. There are a lot of other shows that we're now, since Game of Thrones is done, that we want to watch, and some others that we could talk about.
Like, we're not canceling our HBO subscription yet.
No, yeah, we're still
got a couple things to catch up on.
To watch. And then there are other shows, if like you really want some good like story, you want some kind of olden. Are you good? You gonna fight it? Okay. You want some old kind of lore and things like that. Like,
they're also doing like a prequel series to Game of Thrones.
They are still doing that. There are some people saying that it wasn't gonna happen. I think there were 2 prequels to Game of Thrones that were up in the air. The one that I talked about like a bunch of episodes ago, I think that one's still greenlit. But there was another one that wasn't. And then, sorry guys, you're not getting an Arya Stark sequel. That's not happening. But people
she probably died. The world's probably the world is flat. We do know this.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Everybody knows the world's flat.
Everybody knows the world is flat. Have you seen a map?
And if you don't believe it, you're stupid.
You're so stupid.
Yeah, so she just sailed off into the world.
Yeah.
After she went. West of Westeros is nothing.
Nothing. That's why it's called Westeros.
Yeah, duh. Northeros, Easteros, Southteros.
Yeah.
And Westeros.
Trupperos.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all we got. No, but you are getting some prequels. But, like, if we had to recommend some shows that are kind of like Game of Thrones-esque, Jesse, you really like, what is it, Last Kingdom? Or?
Oh, yeah, Last Kingdom's really good on Netflix.
Netflix.
It's way more historical than Game of Thrones is.
But
even, right?
It's really cool, though. And
like, the main character's fake, but everything he's doing, and it's real. Everything that he's kind of the representation of that unnamed person in history that helped all these kings and people achieve things in early European history. So, yeah.
But that kind of has like the same feel. I think if you're looking for stuff with really cool story and lore, you can go watch any of the shows by Neil Gaiman, like American Gods, or Good Omens is about to come out, which is basically about the apocalypse. So I watched that. Westworld.
Who's the guy? One of the Doctor Who's. David Tennant's in.
David Tennant's in it. Yeah, absolutely. As is. Oh fuck! What's his name? Fuck! I can't remember what his name is. He is in. Fuck. Underworld.
Name that show.
Lucian. He's Lucian in.
Oh yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, that guy's good too. That guy would be a great. Anybody who has that sort of like look about them, like they could fit.
Michael Sheen. I love Michael Sheen. He's like, honestly, he's on my list. I'm gonna put him on my list because he was in Timeline, and Timeline, I love that movie. He was kind of an ass, but he was super hot. So
yeah, but yeah, totally. I think it'll be pretty good when it comes out. I've heard some things that they've had some production troubles, but I don't think that's delaying it.
No, it's coming out May 31st, I believe. So this Friday.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be released. I recommend anything done by Neil Gaiman, to be completely honest.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. We'll do a Neil Gaiman episode. So there's a lot of other things to watch. Hopefully nobody feels really depressed after Game of Thrones ended. I mean, everything ends and everything dies because this is a death positivity podcast.
Yep. And I don't think some things die soon enough. So.
Yeah. As he's said many a times about Westworld.
Yep. Westworld. Season 3 is coming out soon, though, guys.
And Supernatural, which we're actually watching right now.
Yes, we're watching Supernatural because I do know it. So it's on the final
season
or something. Yeah. So before it ends, I want to get caught up. And then I want to make my final judgment after that episode.
We'll do a Supernatural episode.
I will have my final judgments ready.
Because you loved the first couple seasons.
Oh, yeah. It's super good. The thing is, they get to a climactic point.
Don't ruin it for people.
And then they keep going.
They do. It's like, that should be the end-all, be-all.
That should be the end of the whole thing.
I don't feel this way. Jesse feels this way.
Well, it's because, like, they have a purpose. Like, there's always, like, in any story, you want to have, or any show, you want to have the overarching story, the thing that, like, happens every 3-4 episodes, or, a little bit happens in every episode.
In Supernatural, in this kind of theme, is the dichotomy of good and evil. These two halves of a coin.
That's the theme in everything, yeah.
But that's specifically
and how do you put it? Yeah, like that'll be your big theme, right? Like it's exactly the big theme should have been in like Game of Thrones, but then they just ditched that theme to go for nope. It's really the battle between the Lannisters and the Targaryens.
Yeah, we don't actually have a theme anymore.
But yeah, so that should have been the theme. But that theme, and then on top of that, you have interesting episodes. If you're doing weekly, we have an overarching theme, cooperative stuff. We have interesting episodes weekly. We can keep this going forever as long as we don't end the cooperative feature of our life.
We get a divorce. We're still doing the podcast.
As long as we don't. Once you end that, the series is over.
Yeah.
Because the overarching theme is over.
Yeah.
That's the thing Supernatural did. They ended it, and they're like, well, let's just keep going. And they went on and on and on for, as far as I can tell, 10 more seasons.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. We'll see what's up.
Yeah.
But yeah. What else? Okay, so Game of Thrones. Yeah, we'll do a big episode about it.
Yeah, so right now we have a big episode of Game of Thrones. We have a big episode about Neil Gaiman. A big episode about Supernatural.
Yeah, hopefully you're taking notes on all these ideas.
I'm actually about to write it down again. They're probably already in there, so I will say...
Yeah, we have a big, long list of episodes. Actually, we only have like 3 or 4 episodes written in here past this one, so we need to get more. We need to get back on that. See, there's a lot of things when you're making a podcast, guys. This is why our blog posts are suffering, because we're barely staying above water and all the other stuff. But anyways, the other thing is the Terminator trailer.
Dark Fate, the new
is that
Terminator.
What it's called?
Yeah, that's what it's called. It's coming out. And we got sexy old lady Sarah Connor. And Dial Me Aroused. I don't know if that's a saying, but it is now. Dial Me Aroused.
Yeah, she is like, old now, but she's back in the movie.
Yeah, and she's super cool.
So is Arnold. Have you seen him in the movie?
Also Dial Me Aroused. He looks very hot.
Yeah, what number movie is this? Like a million?
I don't know.
Something. There's a lot of them, and like they're the original from like the first several movies, right?
Yes.
This is all about killing her.
Right.
To prevent her child, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, for destroying God.
So they're the originals.
Yeah.
And so clearly they're still around, but it looks like there's another plot to kill somebody else who's also important.
Right. It's like a cyclical, like all stories are ever repeating. So this person is probably
like the best that we
birth.
really did with the Sarah Connor thing was prolong the robot takeover.
Overlord takeover.
Right. Mm-hmm. And now there's a whole new generation of robots taking over in the future and going to the past to try and stop the person.
And so another thing too is the newest generation of Terminators are more humanoids, so more cyborgs.
So I'm looking at that too. So I'm looking at like a list of some of the different types of Terminators and stuff like that, right? And so they have the like metal frame ones, which is Arnold, right?
Wow.
The T, I think he's like the T-800 something, right? So he's metal and he's got like the human outside.
Skinny bits.
Then there's the T-1000, which is like the liquidy guy.
Yep. The Pomeranian.
Right. And then there is the TX, which is the girl in the third one or fourth one. Mm-hmm. And she was kind of both. Right? I think that's what the new Terminators are, like the bad guy we saw in that trailer.
Guy in the trailer,
he left his exoskeleton driving the truck while he got out because he's too parts. He's basically 2 robots in one. He's the exoskeleton piece, but instead of having like, fake skin on like Arnold, he's got the liquid metal stuff on.
Right. Exactly.
And he can do both. And then Ruby, whatever her name is, Ruby.
No, it isn't. It isn't
not her.
Sorry. No, yeah, it's totally different. I thought it was her because in all the pictures she has sunglasses on and it looks like her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah. No, okay. Well, whoever that lady is, the good guy Terminator, and I'm gonna say Terminator, quote unquote, because it looks like more like she is like an android.
Yeah.
Or whichever version. Is it cyborg? She's a cyborg. Android is robots turned more human, and cyborgs are humans turned more robot.
So I think
she's a
cyborg.
Might be, I think.
No, I
she's
think
basically. I think she started as a human, and they turned her into a robot.
Okay.
I think that's what we're gonna find out. Okay. I think that's gonna be
the plot point of
yeah.
Dark Fate.
Yeah, but just because that's what like she said. Oh, I am human, right? And like either like she thinks she is and she's not, which has been a thing before. Like people thought they were, but they weren't. But I think she's gonna turn out to be like she was human, and they turned her into a robot.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, which would be a whole different thing. So
for sure,
I would prefer to be liquid metal one if I had the option.
If you could choose.
Yeah, because I feel like having the skeletal structure would just get in your way a lot of times.
Yeah, I feel like the problem with Arnold's version is obviously you can tell if he gets hit by anything that he is not human. While the other ones, you just have to kill whoever saw you like being all liquidy.
Oh, yeah. And then, like, the
thing.
problem with Arnold's, too, is you could damage it. The liquid one is, like, I'm assuming micro robots that you can't damage it, really.
He's a low-gay fruit user.
Right.
It's the metal low-gay fruit.
Yeah. So, anyways.
That's anime shit, y'all.
It would be it's a cool movie.
It looks good.
I think I'll watch them. I think we got to get you caught up on them.
We should go back and rewatch it because I probably
She's not a fan of movies from like the 70s and 80s.
I am too.
She thinks she is, but she had never seen Lethal Weapon until I made her. So.
Yeah, but that's just wasn't my jam. I've seen Aliens, all of those.
She saw Lethal Weapon 5 before she saw Lethal Weapon 1.
Yeah.
That's one they do in Always Sunny.
In Always Sunny, yeah. That's actually true.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of movies from that time, but a lot of them were like fantasy. Like a lot of Labyrinth,
if you watch the same movie over and over again, you can't claim it as watching a lot of movies.
That is, again, I'm feeling really attacked right now.
Yeah, you watched Labyrinth and Star Wars. So you've seen 4 movies from that era.
That's rude. I have not. I've seen Pretty Woman.
That's true. Yeah.
Have you seen Pretty Woman?
Yeah, I've seen Pretty Woman, yeah.
I bet I made you watch Pretty Woman.
No, I saw it a long time before.
You haven't seen Willow, though.
I have seen Willow, I think.
No, you haven't.
It's really hard to tell. Every time I look at it, I'm like, this... Other than Warwick Davis, is that who?
Davis, yeah.
Yeah. I recognize him, but I could just recognize him.
Yeah, but you don't recognize Val Kilmer in a dress.
No, I don't recognize Val Kilmer in a dress. I hardly recognize Val Kilmer as Val Kilmer. So.
You recognize Val Kilmer as Batman?
No.
God
I would
damn.
not. I mean, yeah, I definitely have seen those movies, though, I think. Because I know I've seen all the old Batmans.
What about, hold on.
But I can't picture what he looks like, is my point. He's got a very generic Hollywood face.
Maybe. I mean, what about Tombstone? Or Top Gun?
Yeah, I like Tombstone a lot.
I've seen Top Gun.
I've seen Top Gun a lot as well.
Yeah, but you don't know Val Kilmer?
Yeah. Yeah, see, those are all the good movies, though. Back in the day, I think that
like
you...
a ton of great movies.
You need to catch up on a lot of those movies, though, I think.
You're not wrong. I do need to. Not those movies. For some reason, I saw a ton of movies with Val Kilmer in them.
He did a lot, yeah. He did a lot in a certain time period. Everybody's got their kind of time period. I'm trying to think of who it is now. I don't even know. I don't know who it is now. That's like in everything almost. Or in a lot of stuff, right?
Let's go to... I want to see. International Movie Database. Oh, the guy that's in the new... he's in the... Elton John biopic, Rocky Man. He was in Robin Hood. He's in The Kingsman. He's one of those people.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. But yeah, I think like when, 20 years from now when people are like back looking on it, they'll be like, oh yeah, he was in all that great stuff, right?
Right.
You know, he's not quite at the peak of his famousness
Yeah, it's
yet.
like Keanu Reeves in the 90s was like in
a lot of stuff. Yeah, I was thinking like too like Matt Damon and they were in a lot of stuff.
Affleck, yeah. They were in a ton of stuff.
And then they kind of felt Brad Pitt was in a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Edward Norton.
Yeah.
Ton of stuff. Haven't seen him in a little bit.
Yep. So everybody kind of has their moment where they're in like tons of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think Val Kilmer definitely had that. So.
Yeah.
But Arnold also had that.
He did.
Speaking of which, it's getting us back to Terminator. He's in these movies. I don't know how much he's going to be in this movie, but I hope it's a lot.
Yeah, he seems like, because they like go to his home or whatever. What I'm thinking is like it's just a minor plot point where he goes and bestows maybe a little bit of knowledge on them.
Yeah, I'd love to see him in there for more than just like a couple scenes.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool because everybody loves Arnold. So,
yeah.
Even the people of California.
Get to the chopper.
Yep.
So good.
So, anyways, that's pretty much it for hotcakes.
Yeah.
Unless you have anything.
No, let's get on to our theme this week, which is we wanted to bring it back to gaming a little bit. We haven't done a video game themed episode in a while, which I brought up last week.
Yeah, and it's because we haven't played a lot of games lately, I feel like.
Yes.
But we're working on picking that up.
Yeah, and this past week, Jesse has been on like a little purchasing streak. Because we got a couple of new video games, one of them being Soul Calibur 6.
That's the only one we got.
That's the only one we got. But you've talked about getting. You got the PGA Tour one, but that's.
Well, okay, that was free. Games with Gold for Microsoft Xbox platform. Everybody should make sure that every month they download the free games.
Yeah, if you have Gold, for sure.
Yeah.
But we were trying to think about it and just think about kind of how we game together as a couple. Not specifically the games that we play, but more of kind of like how in your current lifestyle with the current games that you have, how do you get your significant other to play video games with you? How do you kind of make that a more cooperative experience between you and your lover?
Yeah.
So that's our theme this week. So, I mean, a lot of times Jesse, because Jesse works from home, he tends to play a lot more video games than I do.
I do a lot of like time killing, sort of like little games that don't really take a lot of attention, which sometimes those are the best games, I think, for co-op stuff.
Right.
Right. Like there was one that we never actually quite got around to playing. It was like Overcooked was the one.
Oh, we played that one time with all our friends.
Yeah, it was
but I never played it.
Super cool. I was like, man, this would be super fun to play. And, you can spend 15 minutes playing it. You can spend 30 minutes playing it. An hour playing it. Again, we got busy. We didn't do it, but that one would have been a really good one. Right? Yeah. And I highly recommend it for anybody who's looking for something kind of easy, especially if, like, one is really into gaming and the other one not so much.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody enjoys gaming at least a little, whether it's like Candy Crush or whatever, stuff. And this kind of appeals to both that level of gaming and like,
yes,
higher functioning level of gaming.
Yeah.
We'll call it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was a good one. But yeah, Minecraft is one that like I go to a lot and that we go to a lot together.
Yeah.
Because it's, I don't know. I've got
you could play
5 minutes.
Yeah. And Jesse plays Minecraft a lot. It's kind of like his kind of wind down, kind of chill out kind of game to play, and he'll put on like a podcast in the background and he'll start building.
Need the sound.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so one way that we kind of played that game specifically, because sometimes it is a little tedious if like you're a gamer that likes like a ton of action. But
well, yeah, and in every Minecraft game too, there's always a point where you're like, okay,
we're done now.
Yeah, I'm done with this one.
But I think it's fun.
And I just started a new one.
Yeah, I think it's fun though, because sometimes it'll just be me watching Jesse play Minecraft and me like reading a book or something like that at the same time. So maybe you're not specifically playing with each other, but you're still part of the experience, because Jesse will say, hey, look at this, look at what I'm building. And he'll kind of like go through and tell me like all the plans that he has for his entire area and what he's trying to accomplish. Or there will be the times where you can actually play co-op in Minecraft. So we'll play together and we'll build these things together, and that's a fun experience to have to play together.
Right. Minecraft is definitely one of those ones where it's like, you can come in, come out, come in, come out.
Right, exactly.
Easy. It's interesting enough, yeah.
Yeah, and you could do this with your kids, too, because I know a lot of parents...
A lot of kids play Minecraft.
Yeah, a lot of kids play Minecraft, no matter kind of what their age is. And it is very translatable between older generations and younger generations. Right. So you can bring your child
we
into
do it on the same Xbox, right?
Yeah.
While we're in the living room, whatever, right? But you can do it online, and you can do it, like, I don't know, you got family across the country, cousins, or... Maybe your kids live across the country or
friends,
something like that,
even.
Maybe.
That's the benefit of a co-op game for sure.
You can play it online together, right? And you can have like a world where everybody's kind of doing their own thing, and you can kind of just check in on each other every once in a while. Yeah. Or you could work cooperatively to build a structure together and stuff. And it's all fun. And Minecraft's super cheap.
It is very cheap. So if you don't have it, it's something cheaper to get in that sense. But a lot of people have a lot of those like kind of staple RPG games, I'll say. Like a lot of people have a Final Fantasy game of some kind, and they love it. It's like one of their favorite things to play. And so that's kind of one thing that Jesse and I really connected on when he was courting me, was our kind of mutual love for Final Fantasy. And so what we like to do with Final Fantasy, for example, is he'll play his game and I'll watch him play, or I'll play my game and he'll kind of, if it's specifically like for example, I hadn't played 10 before I met Jesse, and so we played through it together. 10 is
my favorite, yeah.
Yeah, and so with 10, we played it to where I had control for a lot of the game.
Right,
and
you were playing the game. I was just there watching, because I already know. Like, that's my favorite one. I know that game.
Yeah, and so he would help me. He'd say, "Hey, there's like a chest over there."
I just did some grinding when you weren't around.
Yeah, he helps me with grinding because I really hate grinding.
I love grinding. It's like one of my favorite things is to just sit there and grind.
Yeah.
And become super OP'd.
Yeah.
And it helps because then she doesn't have to sit there and grind in order to beat a boss. She could just go keep on going through the story.
Exactly. I'm here for the story. I'm not here for just like going through and fighting like creature after creature after creature.
Yeah.
And like, so that's why for games like I played through Batman Arkham Asylum on my own and Jesse watched me. Mm-hmm. So it was, because that game is definitely, it's not a lot of grinding necessary, so I was able to go through the story in total, and Jesse would just watch me go through. And so that was really fun, because then we kind of get to talk about where the game is going itself and experience it, and then him helping me with kind of different ideas, and then me going through it
and like
myself.
I hadn't played that game before, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it was a new experience for both of us.
Yeah.
Just like I think The Witcher 3, when we first played that, that was a new experience. Raven played through it. So she alluded before, I've got time throughout the day.
Yeah.
So I had my own save file, and I played
on your own
when she wasn't around, so that like she didn't, feel like I was like jumping ahead of her or anything on the story, and like she didn't get glimpses into stuff. Because I mean, and you can kind of go off on different paths. Yeah.
On like The Witcher, it's the same with Skyrim, which we played a lot too. And Jesse's played through that a billion times, where I haven't played through it as much. But you get to, I mean, you're making, in Skyrim, for example, you're making your own character and you're taking it in the direction you want to take it. So
So other than like main story things, or, there wasn't a lot of cross paths.
Yeah. Like Jesse, the last couple of times has done like a lot of like spellcasters and that, where I'm doing a lot of like thieves and doing the whole like Nightingale kind of quest and things like that. And it's fun because you could take your own adventure on that, so you can do it separately but then still together, because then you can also say, oh well, I've done this quest, I can help you kind of get through it. Or you could just sit there and enjoy watching them game, which I think is a lot of my experience in playing. Is sometimes I can't dedicate, like my eyes will start to hurt if I play for too long, and I don't want to dedicate my entire evening
we don't game
all the time. We're casual.
Yeah, we're very casual. We don't game all afternoon. Like, yeah, if we got a new game, like when we got Kingdom Hearts, right?
We went through it a lot.
Yeah, I played that like constantly until I beat it.
Same with like when we got Final Fantasy 15, like we went through that a lot.
Yeah.
Probably with Borderlands, like I'm gonna play that
Borderlands 3,
entirely through and
yeah. So like we do have our moments where we pick up a game and we play through constantly, but that doesn't dominate our afternoons and stuff like that. Yeah, so
and it's like we don't play a lot of like MMOs or anything or just online gaming experiences. We don't play like Fortnite or Call of Duty.
Yeah, I really enjoy gaming with you, and we look for opportunities to find a way to enjoy games together, whether they be single player or co-op, but I don't enjoy gaming with other people.
You did, when Destiny was really big, you did that with
I enjoy gaming with my friends.
Yeah, but like random people in the world,
I don't enjoy gaming with random people.
Yeah, I agree with that, because I'm like, I would rather
That's the same thing.
not.
So, Soul Calibur, I tried to go online and fight some people, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, they make it not fun.
Yeah.
Because, there's somebody out there who's like, they've dedicated hundreds of hours, thousands of hours.
Yeah. Well, it's like
man.
So I didn't play a lot of fighting games growing up. Like, it just wasn't my jam.
Which are a good co-op game, though.
Yeah, fighting games are really fun. Yeah, exactly. And, like, the new Mortal Kombat is coming out.
Supposedly
like, we want to get that.
It's already out.
Oh, is it? We should get that.
Yeah, and it's supposedly super good. Everybody... Kombat. Remember there was the whole thing about, like, they're not as scantily clad as they used to be, and people are pissed.
Yeah. God, get over
Which,
it.
I mean, who cares? I mean, I think there should be a mod so that everybody's naked if you want.
Yeah, play Soul Calibur,
play however you want to play it.
If you want titties.
No, they're more scantily clad than they are in Soul Calibur.
No,
but it's just more than it is.
You should go play Soul Calibur if that's what you're looking for. And then there's that guy with his dick basically out that kind of like
Valdo,
moves. Yeah, he moves around all fucking.
But it's out already, and it's supposedly really, really good. So.
But like I was saying, with Soul Calibur, because I didn't play a lot, like Jesse got to kind of like teach me a little bit, and that sounds like I don't have to be like. It's just fighting games that I really kind of need help on because I don't understand like the combos, and so. I started
Soul
just
Calibur in particular, that was like the fighting game my brother and I played when we were kids.
Yeah, exactly. And so he got to share that with me too, which was really fun to.
Yeah, like we were really into Soul Calibur, way back in the day when we could play on PlayStation 2. Soul Calibur 3, I think it was, or 2, I can't even remember. But we had them all. They were good. They were good games. But yeah, Soul Calibur 6 is the one now.
Right, and you got to kind of teach me how to play that, and I think it was really funny because we were playing, and I was doing really well, right? I beat you the first
you did
two
really
times.
well, yeah.
And then Jesse learned real quick that I wasn't bad at it, and so he had to learn how I played, which was just spamming.
Well, yeah, super. That's the... at first we were like, okay, like these are the basic attacks. Here's how you do it.
And I did those.
And I know, like back in the day, you used to say you used to just button mash on like Mortal Kombat back in the day, right?
Yeah, I just button mash, and I win. Street Fighter, Chun-Li, I just do. But
this you weren't button mashing. I think you thought you weren't button mashing. But you weren't button mashing as in you weren't just hitting one button.
I was just.
But you were hitting like a same like combo of buttons, or the same like 6 buttons in a different sort of combo. Yeah. And it's like, okay, well.
Now you know what
and then after I figured it out,
was.
It's just like, okay, well, this is super easy now.
But I beat you a couple of times, and that was fun.
Yeah. But that's the point, right? It's like, then you'll get better and better and better. And, there we go.
Whip
It'll
your
be fun.
ass.
Yeah. It'll be fun. So, yeah, that's always there. And that one, too, is like another one where we could just, hey, want to kill 30 minutes, 45 minutes.
Yeah, hey, we should go upstairs later, and I want to play some more Soul Calibur.
Yeah. We'll just play a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Easy peasy. There's no time commitment necessary. There is a story mode in Soul Calibur if anybody's interested, but it's very
super short.
Boring.
Yeah, and pretty boring. Yeah.
You can read about it online.
Yeah. And so we have that game is pretty cheap. We get a lot of games on sale too cuz again, we don't have a lot of I mean, we have some disposable income, but there are other hobbies we like to do as well.
If we were more into gaming, sure, we'd probably spend a lot more money on gaming. But again, we're only casually into it. So.
Yeah. And so a lot of our kind of gaming experience, like we were saying, was playing games that we've already played before and just going through that experience again with our significant other. Like, for example, Borderlands. I have played through Borderlands 100 times, probably at this point, and Jesse hadn't played it as much. Had you played it at all when we first started?
I owned
when
it.
we first got together?
And so, yeah, I mean, I played it, but I never got... It's the same way I played several of the games we own.
Yeah, but I made you go
for
through
like an
it
hour,
like a bunch of times.
And then I never picked it back up again.
Yeah, and I made you for Borderlands. So for that, like, that got to be kind of a thing that we do where every time they've come out with a new Borderlands since, we've gotten to play that together, and we make sure that those games were dedicating, because we have a connection over that. And it's kind of the same with like Skyrim. Like, we love that game too.
Right.
Halo is one of Jesse's favorite games, and we've played that one a little bit. I haven't gotten to play through it as much.
Right. Well, like anybody who's like around our age, right? Like, you know, played Halo at sleepovers and stuff like that. It was the go-to game when the first Halo came out, way back in the day. Halo 2, Halo 3, once we were like all through high school and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was like, I can't remember which one came out when we picked it up and we played through some of it, but you know, there's the Master Chief Collection now, which is what we have, which has all of them. And so we were playing through like the remastered ones, right? Like we were doing that sniping level. I think that was the last level we did where we were kind of playing through that and it got really frustrating. And so we stopped for a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, that's super fun. And again, you know, that gives you the option to play together against each other or online or, you know. But yeah, so Halo gives you that opportunity where, like, you know, you can
and so many people have those
against
games
each other.
from way back when. And a lot of us in this world probably still have some of our consoles and they probably still work. We just don't feel like we have a reason to get them out. Like we did before Kingdom Hearts got released onto PS4, we got out the PS2 and started playing it.
Right, or like Final Fantasy X, right? Got remastered recently and released, that was one you thought I bought, I think. But I haven't bought it yet because we just haven't booted the PlayStation yet.
Oh, right. We're waiting on that.
Yeah, because we're going to buy it on PlayStation.
Yeah, we're going to get 10 too.
We bought a PlayStation only to get Final Fantasy 15. Like, we buy Final Fantasy games on PlayStation because that's what I played them on.
Same. Only playing out PlayStation. I
do think I bought one twice so I could have it on Xbox and PlayStation so I could get the achievements on both. But I think
we did that on... You have Borderlands at least on your PC, the Xbox, and I think the PlayStation.
Sometimes I buy games multiple times.
Yeah.
But mostly
that's a weird flex.
Final Fantasy on PlayStation. So that's why I haven't actually bought it yet. But yeah, that was the other one I think you were thinking of. 10 and 10.2 were released, and so yeah, we whip out our old consoles sometimes. They still work. I keep them all nice and clean, and you know they still work, so we're good. But we whipped it out and played 10 on it. We played 10 on the PlayStation 2.
In Kingdom Hearts, I remember.
In Kingdom Hearts, yeah, like we played a few games on there, and then we tried to play 10-2 on the PlayStation 2,
and it didn't work. That's why I haven't gotten to play 10-2 all the way through.
I did like the disc cleaning and repair kit, but the scratch, like we got a little further, but basically it's like right at the beginning of the game, so you really can't go anywhere past like the first cutscene and like it's like the first fight. Yeah. You can't get past like the first fight basically. Mm-hmm. So it's like, fuck.
It's frustrating.
You know? Yeah. So yeah, but we can buy it now, remastered with 10. Yeah. Because I think 10-2, it's like my favorite -2 game for sure. Yeah. I think you'll really like it.
I know I will. And like they're about to come out with the remastered Final Fantasy 7. So I think that's another good one.
They also have Final Fantasy 9. It was already done apparently.
Yeah, that one was just like which is
I think your favorite, right?
My favorite is 8, but I love 9. Yeah, 9 and 8 and 9 are like my favorite. So 8 was my first. 9 was the first one that I like really appreciated like the story.
Yeah.
And so
I think 9 was technically the first one I played all the way through. Mm-hmm. You know, to appreciate the story. Yeah. Yeah. And then I went back and was like, oh man, I own Final Fantasy 8. Let me check that out. And then I went and got Final Fantasy 7, right? And you know.
Yeah.
I got them all from there.
And then collect all your Final Fantasies.
The PlayStation 2 came out and Final Fantasy 10 was the launch.
Yeah.
On that, so.
Well, and like so with Final Fantasy 7, I didn't play that one until I was an adult. And I don't think I'm pretty sure I've made it to the end like once, but I think that it was just like I just got to get through this entirely. And it has nothing really to do with anything, but the way it looks is just, I mean, and that sounds really...
Well, yeah, and so like the thing to know about the like remaster too is it's not going to look so much better.
So Final Fantasy VII's remastered is they've redone the entire thing to make it look to new standards. Whereas I think with Final Fantasy IX's remastered, they're just trying to make it look nicer and cleaner.
Well, yeah, because like I know with like 10, basically all they did is just polish it up.
That's what they did with 9, but with 7, they
had a lot of
redid
hard edges and things like that in games back in the day. People were a little blocky. Smooth it.
Yeah. Final Fantasy VII, though, that's what that was what was keeping Kingdom Hearts 3 from being released on time over the past 15 years.
But I think like I'm saying, I think, because I'm looking at it right now, I see some of the differences on like the side by side. It's all in the cinematics. It are remastered that way. I think the actual gameplay is going to be smoothed over, kind of the same.
I don't know. I didn't hear that.
Right? Like here's one I see.
This demo, look at this. Look at that. Look at that picture.
Right, but here's one I see of mastered versus original.
Yeah, that's not it.
And one is square and one is rounded.
No. That's not it. Yeah. This is it. This one that I'm showing you.
Yeah, I mean, because, it would be great, right?
Yeah. I'm telling you. I know this. I'm going to say I know this.
But it looks like it's just
for certain.
A lot of cinematics are the cinematics are completely redone from the ground up. And they're using the same Unreal Engine stuff that they used. Oh, here's an example of the 9 remastered, though.
Yeah. See, that's the smoothing over, but that's not... They had to actually go back and redo, a ton of Final Fantasy VII to make it look like something up to par with what's going on in the gaming industry these days. But that's another game that you can play with your significant other. That's why we're talking about it.
It is, yeah. So Final Fantasy is huge for us, and so we do those in any single player RPGs if that's your thing. Which
I
that's
love
definitely
single
my
player.
thing.
Yeah, that's our thing for sure. Because
I
like story. I love story. I have to have story in a game or else.
Yeah, and the thing is you don't have to be hands on the controller to enjoy a game.
Because it's
especially if it's
a movie, basically.
A game that you really enjoyed playing back in the day. So that sounds like when this is remastered and done, we can go through 7. I still remember that story,
I know
verbatim.
The entire story.
Yeah. So, it'll be interesting to go through that together again.
Yeah, because I've played through the entire game. I've seen the movies. It'll be nice to be able to go and play the game in the remastered form.
Yeah. And then Final Fantasy 10, 10-2, we'll do all that stuff again.
Yeah, we should go back and just play through 8 and 9 again. I haven't gotten all the way through 12 with Lightning, and we should do that. So, and those are things that you can talk about because it's I feel like with a lot of people, specifically a lot of women, and you could be in a multitude of different different kinds of relationships, and there's probably one person in the relationship that maybe hasn't gotten to play as much growing up.
There's always one person, and it depends on the games, but there's always one person who's the more
experienced, and that would be
in
you.
That game.
Yeah, and
I mean, just being honest, it's me for a lot of the games we play.
Yeah, but a lot of the other games I know a lot better than you do.
Yeah, you do too.
Yeah.
So.
But I would say probably for a lot of people that grew up kind of the same way that I grew up, it wasn't as cool to play video games. So now you're just starting to which I'm not, but there are a lot of people that could just be starting to get into video games. And so just helping foster that relationship between you and your partner is really important, because especially if gaming is really fun to you and you don't have to force them to play. I think that a lot of gamers sometimes new gamers feel a little self-conscious about how they play and if they're going to be good at how they play, and especially with somebody who's played the game before and they're watching you and you don't want to mess up and not be good. Just kind of help them foster how they play and let them kind of explore the game themselves instead of trying to tell them what to do 100%. Let them kind of You don't have to lead them.
Right,
they'll
it's like
discover it
the
themselves.
way I used to play games when I was a kid was with guidebooks. I just figure that I'm the guidebook now.
Yeah,
right?
And I can ask him for the guide. I could go to him, but then also I kind of want him to shut up.
Right? Yeah. You don't always just like refer to the guidebook. Yeah.
If I can't jump all the way
that's
onto that
fucking
wall.
Sometimes
the Aladdin world
technique, yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, that's definitely it's like sharing the moments of gaming, right? And that's why we like story games. That's why we like RPGs and stuff like that, right? Because it's always like I always look at her like whenever we're playing through something like Kingdom of Hearts, I'm like, yeah, now imagine me and and you know what? This is actually my brother and I used to do this all the time.
Yeah.
So that's probably why I'm so good at doing co-op games that are like one player, because that's how we used to play. We just take turns, right, and stuff like that. So,
and I used to watch my brother Alex a lot play games like that, and like Richard and I used to play like Portal together, and he would help me. He would watch me try to get through all the puzzles in Portal, and then when I couldn't do the, like, when you have to throw yourself in Portal through, like, different portals, I could never get that. I was never really good at it, and so he would help me through those moments, too. And so even if, like, you're not good at it, but you're still having these experiences with people is, like, really what fun, the best part
and that's where,
about.
like, I was getting to with, like, like, when we play Kingdom Hearts, I'm like, now, like, imagine, like, me and my brother were, like, 12, and we got to this part, right? I'm like, remember? Like, this is, like, crazy. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, so it's super good to, do some of this stuff together, even if it's hard for, like, a game. Again, Borderlands is out there as, like, a game that's super good co-op. Like, it's built for co-op. I mean, you can single-player it, too.
Which I
built
have,
for co-op.
like, we both have.
That super helps. Like, maybe if you've got a girlfriend, boyfriend out there, and you're trying to get them more into gaming, right? Or husband, I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever relationship
it
is.
Yeah, what your relationship.
Coworker that you hang out with a lot.
That
I don't
really
know.
like them. I still have to give Ryan.
No, yeah, we don't have to, like, it doesn't have to be a sexual thing either.
Yeah, no.
You're somebody you like spending time with.
Yeah.
But, you're hanging out and you're trying to get them into gaming and you want to see their style. A good way to do it is probably to pick up a game like Borderlands.
Yeah, because Borderlands, if you don't know what it is, it's a first-person shooter game.
Yeah, it's kind of an RPG. It's kind of a shooter.
RPG
it's
for
kind
sure.
of a,
and it's got a lot of humor. It's fun to play in general. Like, the lore in it is really funny and really interesting. There's a lot to kind of keep up with, I think, too. Like, it's not just kind of like a one-sided, one-dimensional kind of game. It's really something where everybody could get something that they like out of it. So if you have a friend that is super into, say, like, first-person shooter, like, co-op games like Call of Duty, Borderlands is a good game for them. You like people, somebody that is really into RPGs, that are really interested in the story. Those people will like Borderlands. So those are the kind of situations that I think of when trying to get somebody that isn't as into gaming. Like, I've introduced, not trying to exploit this this particular stereotype, but I've gotten a lot of women into video games, like
I don't
gaming,
think
like console gaming,
like that stereotype is like true, and so like so a lot of times you'll have lady friends and you're like,
they've always
women
been interested
game.
in gaming. They've always been interested in gaming, but then they always thought that it wasn't for them, and now it's opening up to
bing, bang, boom.
Everybody.
There you go. Yeah.
Exactly, and I think that Borderlands is a great
opener.
is a great door opener for that.
Yeah, like I don't think we have to like pretend like the world wasn't like it was. And we don't have to judge the world for what it was in the past.
Right, exactly.
But it's changing, and it's going to be better, and everybody's going to game together now, and there's no stigmas.
Exactly.
Anymore.
And this is a good game if you're like, man, I've just always been interested in gaming, but I think games like Final Fantasy and stuff are a little bit too much for me. Like, you could think that. You could 100% think that.
Yeah, and they totally probably are, because jumping in on them when you're like,
they're a little overwhelming.
Exactly,
yeah, I wouldn't have been able to get into Final Fantasy VIII had it not been for my brother. Because that's like the junction system, and that's complicated.
Yeah, and if you as the like player are trying to get somebody that you like into playing with you, you don't want to just be like, okay, here's The Witcher 3.
Throw them
Enjoy.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll watch you play.
Yeah. You have to help.
That's weird. I mean, that's a great experience, but like that's not a way to start.
It's going to be
like
really
Borderlands.
frustrating for the other person, and they're not going to have a good time, and they're not going to want to do it.
Yeah. Start with Borderlands, experience it with them on the sticks, and then move on to doing some of this like over-the-shoulder stuff, which is pretty fun. But some other games that we played, though, I will say, like, not every game is a winner. Monster Hunter World sucks.
Yeah, I didn't love that. I didn't love that game. And that game is a hard game, and it's like co-op.
Well, so we really wanted to play it co-op, yeah.
Yeah.
But it had to be, like, online, which is, like, the fucking worst.
Yeah, we had to play it in 2 different rooms.
Yeah, which is, like...
on 2 different Xboxes.
Yeah, which isn't a good experience. Kind of lame. So we don't like that as much. That might work for some people playing online on different systems.
But us, we want to play together, like split screen
on the same
couch. Yeah.
On the same thing. Yeah. So that wasn't great. And then the game itself, I don't have great things to say about Monster Hunter.
Right, because it's like, so Jesse's a pretty experienced gamer. I'm an okay experienced gamer, and that game was hard for us. And so we both got really frustrated. Well,
it's just like, there's too much information, like tutorial-wise, and then not enough information tutorial-wise.
Exactly.
So you're like, what the hell am I supposed to be doing? As somebody who's like, never played any of the other Monster Hunter games, really. Yeah. But like, so maybe that's what we're missing, is we haven't grown up playing Monster Hunter. But if that's how they're going to make a game, they're not really opening it up for,
No, it was absolutely beautiful.
Looks good.
I really appreciated the character customizations. That's like my jam. But yeah, no, it was really hard because I was overwhelmed, and then I can just hear Jesse in the other room just like cursing at the TV.
Yeah,
about
everybody gets frustrated while they play games, and that's part of the fun. So don't embrace your frustrations.
Yeah, but that was obviously like if I can't go to him because he doesn't know, and he can't come to me at any point for any sort of guidance.
Like part of it, like how long did it take us to like get into the same party? Took a long time.
Oh yeah, that did take a really long
like that
time.
took us like 2 days to figure out how to just get in the same party. And it's like we're doing all the stuff you do in normal games. We're in the same team. We joined the game together. Okay, that didn't work. All right, we found the same server. We're on the. Why is this not working? Yeah. And so it took forever.
Yeah, there are a lot of other games that make it a lot easier for you to, play it together. Yeah. And so we recommend kind of starting with those. And if you really know how to play Monster Hunter World, and that is a game that you're really good at.
Yes, if that's easy for you to bring somebody in, sure, great.
Then totally do it. But I think if you're looking for a co-op game, and you've never played it, and you're bringing in somebody that maybe hasn't played a lot, or both of you have played a lot, but neither of you have played Monster Hunter, maybe find a different one.
Yeah, stick away. And yeah, the point of that whole rant is that some games are hard, some games are easy, some games you'll enjoy, but definitely you want to know if you're getting somebody new into it, or you want to know if you're trying to pick it up yourself. Find something a little softball.
Right?
Softball, fun.
Yeah.
And again, we probably are blowing Borderlands dick too much in this co-op game but
Borderlands is my favorite.
It is probably the best co-op game I think of all time for adults. Like,
I think that this was one of the first games that you and I played together co-op, and we just had the best time playing it together.
The story's good, the characters are good, the gameplay is as easy or as hard as you want it to be.
Exactly.
It hits every element. Check. Right. So,
funny.
Yep.
Good.
So that's why it's there. But yeah, there's some other ones as well. And then that Overcooked game, because I want to talk a little bit more about how there's like some of those.
Because there was also that game that we played that one time that was like lovers in
space time or something. Yeah.
Yeah, which was really good too. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot of these like they're like indie games, right?
Yeah, indie games are so good for
arcade kind of style. Mm-hmm. Like there are so many that are co-op, like so many, and we've played so many.
Yeah.
You just can't keep a list of them, but. Those games too, like they're not like the thing about Borderlands is it is long-term game, right? Like you could play that for 4 hours a day, every day for the next 2 months, right?
Yeah.
The thing about those games is, they're quick in and out, 30-minute games or whatever. But yeah, there's a ton of those available too. So, if you're looking for some games and stuff like that, kind of like just browsing the marketplace
Steam
for
is a really good
indie
place
games
to
and stuff.
find
Steam,
those. Yeah. And I'll say, like, one of the really good ones that just kind of, like, popped into my mind really fast was Don't Starve Together. And that's a good one that kind of is, you keep it fresh. Because, like,
yeah,
I think that the longer you don't starve together, the more fun the experience. I mean, it's just fun. And so that's a good one to find and to play together. I believe it's only on, is it only on Steam?
No, you can get that on Xbox, I believe.
Cool. We should get that one. I played Don't Starve, but I don't think you and I have played Don't Starve together.
Yeah.
But the game is so much fun.
Yeah.
And it's beautifully done. I think it's so fun.
Yeah, the style on those are all pretty interesting too. So like somebody who appreciates, like sometimes people are like into the gameplay, sometimes people are into the like art style and stuff like that too, or whatever. Yeah. You know, and there's a lot of that going around right now in the indie scene as well. So yeah, so there's a lot of cool stuff there. But yeah, they're you know, on top of all the single player games that we're bringing back from our childhood, or you know, the continuations of series or other new exciting games. There's still a ton of games we haven't played. Co-op that we want to play co-op. And I've got a little list here of these games that I found out are super co-op, apparently. And I'm like, well, damn, why have we not played this? Because one, we already own Mario Rabbids.
Oh, we have Mario Rabbids? I didn't know that.
Yeah, we do this thing where we buy Nintendo systems. I'd say Switch, but Nintendo systems in general, and we just don't play them.
Right.
So we have a Switch. It sits on our dresser, collecting dust, along with the, like, you know, $600 worth of games that we own on it. Yeah. Just sitting there. But yeah, so we have Mario Rabbids as one of those games. Cool. And apparently we can play that together. So we should. Because it ranks really high up there, apparently, in a list of co-op games out there. So, but it's essentially like a Mario meets Rabbids, which is another game series sort of thing, and they come together, and you know, you kind of platform through worlds or whatever. And I think we can do it. Yeah, we could just do it together. So we should give that a shot. One of the other ones I saw on here, which is surprisingly, I have never really played any of these games, the Lego games.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a lot of co-op in those games.
Yeah, I've had friends who, in college, they would just co-op Lego, like Lord of the Rings, I think.
Yeah.
And just play for hours. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I didn't know they were, like, so co-op-y.
Yeah, they're very co-op-y. They're our brand.
You know, I'm super into that. I want to know now, is there a way I could buy, like, all the Lego games in, like, one giant pack? I wonder, like,
you could.
All the Star Wars ones, or all the Lord of the Rings ones, or all the Harry Potter ones.
Probably. Know. I definitely want to play the Harry Potter ones.
Right. The one that, like, on the list I was reading that I saw was, like, the Marvel superheroes ones. So,
yeah.
That sounds fun as well, right? Like, any of them, I don't know. I don't understand the Lego games. I, like, back in the day wanted to get into them, and then I just always forget.
Right.
You know, but, like, I don't know. If I could build Legos and play through, like, cool stories, sounds awesome.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. On top of that, Far Cry 5, I forgot, came out.
I know. I've never played any of the Far Cry games.
I played them. They're good. Far Cry 5 was supposed to be, like, kind of different. You know, it's, like, in America, and
yeah,
it had, like, a bunch of online stuff, I guess. And so I guess that's where the co-op comes in. I'm not really sure, but, like, you know, yeah, we could probably pick that game back up and check it out. And
yeah,
if it has some co-op stuff, awesome.
Yeah.
You know, let's do it. And on top of that, this one that I had no idea this game existed, but apparently it does. A Way Out.
A Way Out. I just saw that one. I was looking at a different list.
It is supposedly super good, and it's, like, built for co-op. Like, I don't know that you can even play it single player. I think you need to have
two people,
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Because it made it seem like, you know, whether it's escaping from jail, which apparently is something you do in that game. I don't know. Or anything else you do. It's always about two people.
What's that? Prison Break.
Yeah. So I don't know what that game is, but I was like, instantly, I was like, oh, it's built for two people? Yeah, we should check that out and see, you know, and we can figure out that game together, and maybe it's something we both like together. So
for sure. Yeah. And
yeah, anything you think that we need to pick up and play?
So there's some that were on here, like Divinity Original Sin. There's, like, the first and the second one. It's supposed to be really fun. I think that we should definitely go and play some Resident Evil games. Some of them are more co-op-y.
Even though they're not, like, there's some that won't be.
Yeah.
But
we should play those in, like, Silent
Hill. I played
Hill
through all the way up through, like, 4 or something.
Yeah.
Resident Evil, yeah.
Pretty sure I played 6.
Yeah.
So, play those. The game that we were talking about before was Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time. We have played that. It's really fun. We recommend that for people that are really interested in indie games and really want to play co-op. That one's a really good one. I think that we should go back and play more Halo.
Because, like, we played through together the latest Halo, and then, like I said, with the Master Chief, we were going through, like, 1.
Yeah.
But we never really did, like, what I would love to do is get, like, 6 people and, like, do some, like, big multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diablo.
Diablo 3?
Yeah, I think it's co-op.
It's online. Like,
yeah.
You can join online.
Yeah.
But we'd have to be on different consoles, I think, for that.
We could play it on our computers.
On computers, yeah. But again, that's like kind of the same thing as being on different consoles. Like, we could stare at each other here, but...
I still want to get back into playing World of Warcraft. I know you don't want to. But maybe I'll play with my dad. And that's another thing you can do. So, yeah, but those are the last ones that I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then go back through and play all the games that we like to play.
Well, yeah. So we still have, like, kind of a backlog of games, too. I think, like, if we go back and look, like, you never finished the Tomb Raider games.
No, I made it halfway through. It's really good, but...
Yeah. And those were good ones that I really liked.
I want to finish playing the Batman series, Arkham.
Yeah, there's a lot of those. There's probably, like, a ton of, like, I don't know, Call of Duty games and stuff like that we could get. I don't even know what the latest one is. That's what I'm saying. There's, like, probably 2, because they spread off into different threads, right?
Yeah.
But those are fun. Like, I could play those. We could play those together.
Yeah. I'm good, though.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's wrap this episode up.
Yeah, because that's probably all we can think of. Oh, Gears of War.
Gears of War. That was one of the ones on my list too.
Yeah. I forgot about those. Gears of War, was really big back in the day. We could probably find like a Game of the Year version somewhere, and bing, bang, boom.
Sure.
So.
All right, let's get out of here. I'm hungry.
Yep. Okay. Anyways, so you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook
at Co-op the Podcast, and that's where you're gonna look for the next prompt for our t-shirt giveaway.
Yep.
So we're giving them away every week. So go look there for the rules. Don't spam us. Comment, share the post or any original content that comes onto our page. If you like, comment, or share that post, interact with it in any way besides getting it blocked. Yeah, you'll get an entry. So hit us up there for that. Be sure to, if you haven't already, review our podcast and rate us, because that helps us reach more people. So, and we're cool and charming as hell.
And share as well.
Share on your, let people know if you like us and you like what we talk about and you think we're funny and interesting, like the trillions of people that listen to this podcast already.
Yep.
Share. And
for all our stuff, for links to our social media, for any of our blog posts, some of our merch, stuff like that, you can go to coopthepodcast.com.
Yes.
COOPTHEPODCAST.com.
Yep. And then also head over to patreon.com/coopthepodcast and you can find us over there as well.
Alms for the poor.
Join us.
Yep. Join us. Give us money. And we'll start doing more stuff for our Patreon folks.
Yeah.
Right now we keep it bumping in our Discord.
Yeah, we try.
But that's it.
Yep.
We're going to do some more stuff. Again, now that we have half the studio set up, we'll get the other half set up.
Yeah.
And then the Patreon will get behind the scenes.
Dope. Mm-hmm.
So do that. Is there anywhere else that they can follow us, or is that it?
They can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Raven_Coop or Co-op.
Yeah, or you could follow me at Jesse, JESSECO_OP.
That's it.
That's it.
Get out of here.
Yep.
Get out of here,
All right.
you crazy kids.
Later.
Okay, bye.